thank you to every member, especially those who paid their dues. Thank you to the life members who generously supported the council.
The 2024 Annual Conference and AGM of the Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria with the theme Resetting National Priorities, the Role of Strategic Management enters day 2, filled with the most significant sessions of the official unveiling of the new Institute's logo. In recognition of their numerous contributions to human development, some distinguished Nigerians who are captains of industries were honored with Grand Fellowship Awards and Honorary Fellowship Awards respectively. Amongst them was Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar, the chairman of the Senate Committee of Trade and Investment and Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Drugs and Narcotics. Also, Alhaji Saleh Amadu, OON, Malakin Lokoja, and Chairman Trade Modernization Projects Limited, and Mr. Wale Tinubu CON, Group Chief Executive, Oando PLC, Sub-Sahara African Foremost Indigenous Integrated Energy Group, and also Professor Ayo Omotayo, the Director General of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies.
Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can.
In his keynote address, the Director General of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies presented a paper that acknowledges that Nigeria, as a diverse and populous nation, faces myriad of challenges ranging from economic disparities and social issues to political complexities, all of which have impaired the national building process.
Because most times we don't communicate them, and we assume we are communicating. That is why we have the Institute of Strategic Communicators. Because it is not enough. It is not enough to have good plans. It must be communicated properly. And most of the time we assume that maybe we told them, we have told them. In what way and manner are you telling them? If you don't say it the right way, bring it out at the right time, to the right audience, you just find out that you are not communicating. And when communication breaks down,
the National President, Institute of Strategic Management Nigeria, said there was a need to review the progress of Nigeria to identify where it had failed, especially in its agenda and development plans, to put its priorities right.
See, in everyone's life, there come a time that you audit yourself. You review yourself. You know whether you're making progress or not. No one will tell you you're not making progress or you're making progress. What you see when you review your activities tells you. Some do it during their birthday, some do it during the beginning of a new year, some do it during the beginning of a new regime. For our country, it's time that we reset our priorities. Where have the former administrations failed? Where has Nigeria failed? Especially in the agenda, in the development plans and all of that we've not been consistent, in working through. What went wrong and how can we put our priorities right? So this conference and this meeting is intended to profile solution and come up with recommendations that will help us go through foolproof all that the nation has planned. What are our priorities? How do we walk these priorities to their end? If we say we have agenda, this is our development plan for 5, for 10, for 50 years, how do we walk this plan to, get...
Citizens of Ibadan will be looking at the value orientation dimension of this presentation.
When Nigeria will be a great nation of good people. At that time, the green passport will be desired by everybody in the world. And by 2100, we have another king. By 2100, Nigeria will be a leader nation. Amen. Leader nation in various aspects, but distinctively, Nigeria will lead the world in population. Nigeria will take over from India by 2100. India will still take over from China, and Nigeria will take over from India. Nigeria will be in the region of 2.2 billion and 2.6 billion.
Nigerians, you can't trust them. Somebody was speaking yesterday and said when it comes to business matter, don't trust Nigerians because this is not in Nigeria. They can, overrun and outdo you. In summary, I'm saying, what are our key values? When we were growing up, historical, cultural values were very strong. I'm not sure they went to any school then in Nigeria to write it, but you were very clear. Discipline was critical. Are you with me? I mean, you hard work. In fact, I know there are some states in Nigeria where, and even school, the creed has to do with hard work, discipline, accountability, take responsibility, and all of this. Respect for elders and all. Question, where did we miss it? I think our generation failed. My generation, those of us 6.
Not because of an entity, you are expected to separate personal interest from public interest. Just like our keynote presenter said, when you go to an office, what are you presenting? What are you representing? Is it your interest or interest of the public that you occupy that office for? So our council have ensured through these codes that at least trust is lifted to a significant level in the country.
Gender inequality and social exclusion. It's a leader in leadership, it's a leader in all of the areas that you have mentioned. When we talk about leadership, even in governance or political leadership, we are battling with low representation of women.
Structures, the executive, the legislature, what is the judiciary doing? What are the different ministries and those structures are doing? We hardly speak about the values. But the reality is that what those institutions are doing has to be driven by certain values.
Bringing us past through this annual conference. To the President and members of Council that found us worthy to serve on the local organizing committee, we say a very big thank you. It was indeed a great privilege.
At the annual conference and AGM of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, there will be an election to elect a new president of the institute to continue driving the vision and mission of the institute. Olayemi Eson for Spy TV.